Welcome to another edition of Entrepreneurs and Fuego, where entrepreneurs get naked, my man. That's it. That's all I have. Abe Zucca, man. You are the man. Abe Zucca. We're here with Abe Zucca at the Office Pile, Attico Galleria, and all your work is here at the Attico. We're very proud to be able to hold this one-man show here at the Attico Galleria. We had a show, an exhibition, this past week. This is the week of August 2000, the second to last week of the month of August 2015, and we had an exhibition with your art. And dude, man, you inspire me. Tell us a little bit about, again, your name, your Abe Zucca. Tell us a little bit of what inspires you to paint. What inspires you to paint? What is it that makes Abe Zucca run? What is it, man?
So what inspires me to paint is you're walking down the street and you're bored. There's nothing to do. I mean, it really comes out of pure boredom. I used to write. You could write in a journal. You could take photographs, which I find absolutely amazing, which is what a lot of people do now. If they're trying to engage in their environment, besides just maybe going on social media, just on their phone, in order for them to engage in their environment, they become artists. They could become writers or photographers or even painters. So a lot of my art is based on a photographic eye. I took a lot of life drawing classes, so even at the same time, I do look at things as an artist who draws from life does. And so painting actually gets me to know my world that much more, rather than picking up a book and reading about what someone else thought about it. I get to know the world as direct as I can when I paint.
You know, a writer gets inspiration and, you know, something hits in the writer that he or she, they have to write and you just can't stop. Mm-hmm. Is it the same thing with a painter where you get some inspiration, like, I gotta draw this, I gotta paint this, I just have to. Is there that type of compulsion that happens to you?
Yeah. And I think it's absolutely necessary across the board. And that is the tragedy, I think, when it does become a profession. Because it used to be you being impulsive, and now there's some other voice interrupting that voice that's causing you to hurry and paint or to hurry and write. When there was a beautiful time before it was a profession, and if you're lucky, you can feel that it is my voice all the time, even when I am getting commissioned or to do a project for a business or for somebody else. So you try to maintain that compulsive voice because it's necessary, because it shouldn't be like, I should paint because, you know, like it pays the bills and it's good for you. Actually, I think for me, it's more like I have to, because if I don't, I'm walking around really odd, like you didn't get enough sleep or you're really strange with people. For example, if I didn't paint for a week, I wouldn't know how to go in public that comfortably. I usually go in public because I just finished a painting that gives me confidence. It's the same thing, like there's skydivers that get a skydiver license and they skydive before they go out. They skydive at 5, and so they get that adrenaline, they get that nice individual confidence of actually being a productive person. And so that's for me. It is social, but it also is me gaining my individual confidence in my studio by myself majority of the time. And I love feeling that way.
So for you, it's kind of, it's a compulsion. You just have to do it. And once you enter into that safety, that world that is you, your canvas, your paint, then once you've finished that paint or that painting, then you can go into the world with confidence.
It feels good. It feels better than if I didn't. And I think that's the same thing that somebody who's addicted to anything, whether it's a bad addiction or a good addiction, they still have that feeling. I need to take a little bit of this before I go out. I need to paint, honestly. I need to show that I worked today and painted, and I feel like I went out and I go. And then majority of people when I do go out, they know what paintings I've done. And so I get this new, fresh socialization with people, and I love that.
We're here with Abe Zucca, who is very rapidly becoming one of my favorite painters here in Phoenix. And I just don't say that gratuitously, but your style, you're a portraitist. And by that I mean you take faces, you take emotions, and you disrupt them, and you deconstruct them, and you give them an amazing Abe Zucca style, which is, it's not your regular perfect paint, but it really reflects anger, emotion, happiness, distraction, what I see in your paintings. Tell us about you. You have a series of 4 paintings here at the Attico Galleria, here at the office pile. And tell us a little bit about those 4, because those are Rembrandts that you painted, but you sort of deconstructed them. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I think as an artist, at least when I first started, to copy is bad. Though to copy, I guess, too much is bad. Like as a young kid, you really don't know because of plagiarism. When you write a paper, you're just ripping stuff out of the encyclopedia and regurgitating it. Even in high school, people would redraw a Spider-Man comic. But in copying, there is learning. But in copying where it's lazy, there is thievery and there's false identity.
Well, for me, just to be sure, it is not so much, if you're going to plagiarize or copy somebody, then you're trying to paint or draw something as perfect as the original. But you're not doing that.
Yeah.
You're on the other side, because you're taking a particular painting, a Rembrandt, for instance, and you are taking that image that was painted 300-400 years ago, and you're making it your own. It's much like it's like a song, right? A cover of a song. It's when a particular song is sang by
it's like doing a cover. It's like doing
a cover for a song, right? Is that pretty much what
it is?
Happens?
And a good, I think someone who does a good cover, which I've heard quite a few people, you can do a cover where you're conveniently doing it nice. It pleases a large amount of people.
Right.
But then there's some people that do a cover and they override it with their own individuality. Like if they did a Bob Marley cover and they pretty much extended notes. They suppressed certain parts of it, or maybe they repeated some parts of the song more than it was in the original. And I always found that absolutely beautiful, because that is the pure. That's what I find that's beautiful about art across the board, is going into your history, going into your inspiration, and then metabolizing and processing it to actually say, I'm not suffocated by my history.
Right.
I'm in my history, and I can analyze myself out of my history. So in the same sense, it's really that, and I find that just really beautiful when someone can do that. Because I think you should go back into history, and I that statement, all artists are born and not made. They're born.
Yeah, of course.
And that was very intimidating, because I do believe that. But actually, I think that what that means to me now is you got to go back into who you are, like all the way back, wherever your imagination is, wherever wherever the adult voices are quiet.
Right.
And you find yourself maybe staring at the tree for an hour. And these experiences when you're a child, that's where the artist is born. And if you can go back there, then the artist is truly born. I mean, it isn't made. It actually is going back to that honest voice of who you are and living with it. And actually constantly, every time as you get older, you start finding new memories. And maybe they're not even true. Maybe they're just you prefabricating them. But if they feel true and, and the sense is true, then might as well be,
All we're missing here is a joint, man, because this
Yes,
is a
I
great
know.
conversation, man. Abe Zucca is here at the house at the Attico Galleria, here at the office spot. And let me tell you something. In going back to the group of Rembrandts that you have, and I'm going to use the word that you have deconstructed, if you will, because they're just beautiful, and we're going to put them up in our site for anybody to go to theofficepile.com. We're going to put them there, or Attico Galleria. That we're going to put them there. In fact, that they'll be able to see them there. But and we're talking about the analogy. We're saying that's kind of like a cover of a song. Certainly not a karaoke version, but a very good cover. It provides inspiration. And so when you see something like those Rembrandts, for me, I'm looking at something that is entirely unique, something that provides inspiration. And some of the things that we talk about with artists and writers and everything else, we're saying that a writer or a painter is as much as an entrepreneur as the guy who's coding or writing the next app for your iPhone, right? Do you feel that way? Do you feel like an entrepreneur?
Yeah, and the stakes are higher now because there is a lot more people doing the same. There is a lot of access to convenient ways of doing things.
Okay.
And in a sense, it's like lifting light weights the whole time, but it's getting you by. You got to go to the gym and see everybody. But
sure.
The stakes are higher for that person who isn't a corporate job or any type of thing that really does have firm boundaries, especially through social media, to actually to use it wrong or to take the risk and maybe do something everybody said was a mistake. I mean, this is something that it's in the books. Every great artist has those quotes, about failing and being the odd person.
Do you get people that go, yeah, it's nice, but
all the time. All the time, but deep down, I could say I could give you what you want. I have no problem doing that. It's exhausting to me. I'd rather you just like the stuff that I'm creating, but sometimes I get commissioned to do something and I can, throw the dart and hit the somewhere in the bullseye and achieve something, and I still do keep a little bit of my signature in there,
right?
But I tone it down, and
So the ideal situation is for you to just be let loose, and if somebody commissions something for you, and we're talking here with Abe Zucca, is all right. Here's the theme. The theme is music.
Yeah.
Go. Well, what kind of music? What color of music? What period of music? That's up to you. That's up to the artist.
Yeah.
So that to me is the. If I were to commission something from you, paint a mural. That's what I would say. Just. What's the theme? The theme is music, and then go nuts.
And you are that type of guy, and I find that beautiful, and I think that is what's so beautiful. I would rather someone else let me free.
Right.
I can let I do it all the time. It's all right.
Right.
But it's greater when someone gives me a project, like an idea. Oh, I have this. I love doing charity events because charity event usually has a theme, and so I love doing art for that charity event where a lot of people just pull art out of their closet and just auction it off. I would like to go. Who's in it? What's the theme? What can I make a mood of this event? And I love doing that.
You know what's going to happen is that, in a not so distant future, but I can tell you, and I don't see the future, but I can see a little bit of the future with you. Is that in 3 or 5 years, the demand for your art is going to skyrocket because you're probably one of the few talents here in Arizona, in Phoenix, that I've seen that is original, that is personable, that is approachable, that has a craziness about him. And every artist really has that. But that gets it as an entrepreneur and as an artist. And your art, man, it's truly, truly, truly passionate. You can see that. You're a prolific painter too, man. You got like 20 million pieces out there. So I think I'm gonna go and buy them all because they're gonna be collector's items.
They're at my parents' house, at my sister's house. They don't hang my work. It ruins their decor. They put it in.
What do you mean?
I need an air. If you get like a nice IKEA thing and you put my painting next to it, they're confused about what you're trying to communicate. Are you trying to communicate like you're socially adaptable, or are you trying to communicate I'm wild and let's have a wine party or something?
But your art is phenomenal, and and truly I like it. Look at this shit flies here at the office pile all the time. But your art is being displayed here at the Attico Galleria, the office pile, and we're very proud to have you around here, man. And for being a guest in our show today, you're gonna get. Look at this.
Yeah, that's nice.
This is an office pile T-shirt.
Cool.
This one was designed by Angie Sequoia, actually, and he did a phenomenal job.
Cool.
Thanks,
right
man. You're going to have to come back, brother,
yeah,
man. I
totally.
appreciate it, man. You're good, man. We're out. Thanks.